So I wanted to make this video. I actually just made a very heartwarming video about seeing My Neighbor Totoro in theaters for the first time. It was wonderful. Um, but I wanted to give my reactions just kind of off the cuff. I've captured zero footage for this because this was something I was just kind of playing for fun. I've actually been trying to capture some footage for GTA to give you guys a really cool like breakdowns of all the games and stories and how performance, console to console, and all this stuff, even with scalers and all this cool stuff. As you can see, I got the PS3 right here. That will be coming hopefully closer to November. I'm gonna start pushing all that stuff out. That way I can get a lot of it done for you. I don't even know if it's going to be doable, just because of working a day job, trying to do tons of different content, but also give you guys light stuff here and there. Again, not to mention working my day job, which is a lot as is. It's very late here in the office in Studio B, but wanted to give some just super quick thoughts on Doom: The Dark Ages. And so just as a quick caveat, I love Doom. Uh Doom, like as a series, especially Doom 1993, is one of my all-time favorite video games. I love Doom. Doom is my comfort food. One of my not my earliest, but one of my earliest memories playing the original Doom was my father is a firefighter, and he used to work in an area in like the Tampa Bay area, in Temple Terrace, which is like a subdivision like a district of Tampa. I don't think it's technically a city. I'm actually not quite sure, but he used to work in that area as a firefighter. And so my mother brought my my older brother and I to the fire station. Every once in a while she would do that, and it was cool because my dad would like it never got old. Like seriously, even as I got older, it never got old. Um But my dad would, like, let us, like, look at the trucks and, like, kinda just hang around, and, like, sometimes the guys would, like, slide down the pole. They had that at one of the stations, like, it was always the coolest. But there was, like, a downstairs, like, I don't wanna call it, like, a dispatch room, but it almost seemed like almost like a small, know what you wanna call it, like an office or like a call center almost. Like it just had a few phones and like this big rounded like desk, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I was a very young kid. This would have been like 93, 94. And so I think in 94 I got my first game console, which would have been a Sega Genesis. So this would have been like with Sonic 2 and Jurassic Park was what we got. So it was the Sonic 2 Genesis bundle with the Model 2, and then the Jurassic Park for Sega Genesis. Both awesome games. Sonic 2 was the first game I ever beat. Wasn't the first game I ever played. I think that goes to it's a toss up because I don't remember what I played first, but it would have been either Miss Pac-Man or Frogger for Atari 2600. But uh, I remember being in this office, and the fire station had two floors. Upstairs was like kind of where they would live, and then like a communal area, kitchen, things of that nature. And then even had like areas where you could like work, train, things of that nature. I think they may even have like a small gym downstairs. I don't remember, but there was like an office, and I remember one of my father's coworkers had brought in his personal computer, and so I mean, it must have been running like I don't remember what early Windows was, like version 3 or something. It definitely wasn't. I don't think it was 95, but I think it was running DOS. But he was like, "You boys want to see something cool?" And of course, we're like, "Yeah." So he puts on Doom, and I know it was Doom because of the chainsaw. And I remember we would just try to find a chainsaw and then try to like hack everybody down because it was hilarious. I think we may have also played Wolfenstein, but I really remember Doom. And so over the years, I have all these small memories of, like playing Doom. I never really personally owned it actually until I got older, where I could really like dig through the game. I think where I actually like bought it for the first time versus just kind of like being in somebody's place, or like someone go, "Oh, dude, you want to play?" You won't take turns like going back and forth playing Doom. Um, which I remember doing with like friends and stuff like that. But actually, oh, the first one, I think a friend of mine, he had played beaten it, and he was like, it was terrifying, but like give it a shot. I don't know if your computer will handle it, and it couldn't. So it was a little bit later. So I had a copy of Doom 3, and I vaguely remember playing it on like a friend's computer because so a friend gave me a copy, and it wouldn't work on my computer because it just wasn't strong enough. So I played it on like a different friend's computer, and I remember the game like almost borderline gave me like nightmares because it was just so damn scary. Um, but I think when Doom 3 was, I don't know if it was a port or remaster, but or an expanded version, but came to PS3 with the Doom 3 BFG edition, right? And then it had the two OG games with like a bunch of like it was up-res and all these cool features and stuff. Um, that was really the first time I kind of got like into it. So I just had all these good memories of Doom. This is where I actually got into it. And I remember just actually ignoring 3 and really playing the hell out of 1 and really falling in love with 1. But I want to show you even more. So I have even this mic here is the Elgato Wave Doom the Dark Ages mic. I have the stand. I have the XLR Wave, all Doom themed. My computer is specifically, this is all Doom the Dark Ages. Okay. I have I have the PC case from Havoc. I have the Asus Astral or the Asus ROG Astral 5080 Doom the Dark Ages themed case. I bought a wrap for my Series X sitting right next to it with the Doom the Dark Ages wrap. I have right up here. These are not Doom the Dark Ages, but Doom limited run controllers. I have a copy of Doom 3 in box over there for PC of all things. So it's safe to say, and that's just what I have here. Okay. So it's safe to say I'm a fan of Doom. I really like Doom. I really would like to do how I'm gonna do a GTA and go through the games. I would love to do that for the entire Doom series at one point myself. Here's where the concern sets in. So I have two very conflicting thoughts and opinions here. And I want to hear what everybody else has to say about it. I've been seeing people's reactions and I've been finding it kind of funny personally. So I played Doom the Dark Ages when it came out because I got the graphics card. Again, big fan of Doom. So I'm like, I really kind of missed the boat on the last one. I really, 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 really want to play this game. So started playing it, fell in love with it. I found this method that I've never found in any other games. So Doom the Dark Ages has some of the best gameplay at, in all of video games. All of it. It has the best combo where it's almost like so baddie hits the map, right? You're like, it's and I mean like a baddie, not just a dude who you need a sneak knockout. A baddie. Here we go. So the gameplay is dude starts shooting. Now you can block with your shield, but they have like this green. Sometimes they'll launch like a green. If one of their blast shows up green, you can reflect it back. You can pop it back with the shield, and it'll hit them. It'll like break their armor if they have any armor, or it'll like knock them down, or kill them, or stun them. Awesome. So a lot of times I'd block them, and I would start shooting. Block, shoot, block, shoot. But when I saw that, if you just see the color green, you start popping up your shield, and then you once you see him kind of concussed, you can slide in with the shield, get him more concussed. Then what I would do is launch the shield. It has a blade on it. It'll start cutting them up and stuff. And then I just start unloading the clip, right? You just start unloading the clip. And if that's not enough to kill them, usually they would outline like purple, which means you could like kind of run up to them and then with your right stick. And again, I was also give you preference. When I first started playing this, I was playing on PC. I'm sorry. I play with a controller like a real human being does. I'm playing video games. This is for fun. This is make believe. I use a controller. I'm not having the most, you know, pinpoint accuracy. I'm not playing a competitive game. I probably would do keyboard and mouse if that was the case. That being said, I you come in right stick and you hit like a killing blow, usually like a hammer or some sort of gauntlet. You can like or a chainmail or something like that, and you can kill the dude. Just awesome, awesome. I had it down like this combo, and so I was playing. I ended up running. I was in the process of upgrading my processor. I was just going from like bougie the bougier kind of thing because that's the kind of dude I am with tech. I was upgrading from a 13900K to a 1400. Excuse me, at a 13900K. It was upgrading to a 14900KS. First world fucking problems. Trust me, I get it. So I in the process of this, messed something up on the motherboard. So I ordered another motherboard. Um, but I wanted to keep playing on PC. I didn't want to go to my other PCs. I really wanted to play it on this graphics card that I wanted for these parts and this thing. And I get very particular about certain things. So I put it aside. Year goes by. We start getting closer to the DLC coming out. I'm like, oh wait, I have to go back through because I want to play the DLC. So I pick back up the game. Something happened where there was an update, and I played on this 5080, ran into some issues. Sorry, Bethesda. Sorry, ID or id, whatever you guys want to call yourselves. Didn't really work great. I was running into stability issues. Put that one aside. Walked over to my 3090 PC, and I'm like, all right, this one's a beast. We gotta try. No dice. There's been several updates since. I'm sure it's been fixed. I want to play now, and when I find a platform that's home, unless I'm doing like comparisons and stuff, that is the platform I stay on. Worked fantastic on Xbox Series X. And by the way, it is Play Anywhere and it is on Game Pass if you just want to take that route. So I did play it there. Even though I own it on Steam, I played it via Game Pass on my Series X. So played it, beat it. I have to say, it is my absolute, at this point, my absolute all-time favorite Doom. I don't think the story is crazy, but I actually enjoyed it. I don't think it's anything crazy, but it's cool. I love that they made him that he's just like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, you're the baddie. I'm coming to get you. And so like everybody else is taking this like seriously. He's taking it overly seriously and he's going to kill you. And thus he does. And you see him, step to the plate. And this is supposed to be the prequel of everything. This is the prequel of Doom. The Doom 2016 timeline and trilogy. This is a prequel leading into it, which I guess the DLC is supposed to connect that. But this is where I'm going to get into. So, again, amazing gameplay. I'm going to make a weird reference. So it kind of has the riding the bike feeling. So, if you were to explain riding a bike to somebody, you go, well, you put one foot on the pedal, then the other foot, you push the one, and then the other thing comes around, and then you hit the brakes, and then you got for the front and the back. Nobody rides a bike like that. You just get on the damn bike and you ride it. Well, you ride the bike. You don't actually explain it to other people like that. Playing a drum set is the same way. So I grew up playing drums. I used to travel as a musician and stuff like that too. Part-time and stuff went through my 20s and even went to college for percussion. Very amateur, to be honest with you. Even though I had one song on the radio once, but played with a lot of artists, got paid doing it, had a lot of fun. It was always my dream as a kid, and I did it. But when you play a drum set, if your traditional beat, right hand's hitting the hi-hat, 2/4 on the snare, right? 1/3 on the bass drum, and your left foot is 2/4 on the hi-hat, right? And that's how but like drummers don't talk like that. You just no, it's a beat. You just sit down, you start playing, you feel it out, you groove it. But that's really actually what it is. But nobody talks like that, right? Just like nobody talks like that riding a bike. That's what Doom the Dark Ages feels like. You get in, like I said, it's Reflect. sliding with the shield, concuss them, back up, throw the shield out, let them start grinding with the shield. You start unloading your clip, let them turn purple, come in, mallet, boom, they explode into the bloody chunks. Dead, next baddie. And that's how the game was. It was awesome. Awesome. Some of the most fun I've had in a very long time in a game. And again, story's a little fun campy. The negatives. For whatever reason, they're doing this mech thing where you're in this ginormous, like, super mech. It feels very, look, fun idea. Very, it, it actually probably feels how a mech should feel. Heavy, clunky, slow. Ugh. And actually, I want to pull back real quick. So there was a thing when Doom the Dark Ages was coming out that this game is not as fast. It's not as fast, but it's just slightly slower. It's fast, but it's not as fast as like Doom Eternal or Doom 2016 or even the old Dooms. It is a little bit slower in that sense, to where you're just like a tank. It's still pretty quick, and you're just, I mean, you're mauling everybody in sight. It's awesome, right? Now, would you hit these giant mechs? You feel it. It's slow. It's clunky. The gameplay is like, it changes the gameplay. It is not great. That drops at like a whole point for me. It goes from like being a perfect game to I'm like, ugh. And there's like 2 or 3 levels with it. And I think there's 21 or 22. I think it's 22 levels overall. It's God, it's not good. Like the mech things are just not like, I remember doing them. I'm like, oh my God, please let me just get through this. They're not hard though. So like you can kind of push through it, but no problem. But um there is like dragon flying level. The dragon is cool as hell, like to look at, but it actually still kind of sucks. There was another one. I think there's like 2 or 3 levels with it, or it's very brief. Um, it is easier to control and easier to navigate and use, but it's not great. You kind of you're like, oh, like the first time you see the dragon, you're like, dope, because he's cool looking as hell. But then you get on it and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel great. But okay, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see. People look, I appreciate the developer trying something and being creative. It is one of the best developers ever. They create some of the best tech. I mean, they helped with what was it, some of the water and motion smoothing and Starfield and like a bunch of like and I think even some of the gameplay or gunplay, excuse me, too. So in that sense, like when you even look at like start from like Fallout 4 and 76 to Starfield is a vast difference in shooting. It's a lot better. Um, but even then, like it in id Tech is some of the best in all of video games. Now, here's where the monkey wrench comes in. It's my favorite Doom of all time. My absolute favorite Doom of all time. I probably still only give it an 8 out of 10 just as talking about it compared to like other games in the industry because of those 2 modes just dragging it down. To where I would borderline say maybe even like 9.5 because the story is just kind of meh. Again, I like it, but I can if I take a step back, it is meh. The game's beautiful too, by the way. Even on Series X is beautiful. And what I did get to play at a PC was amazing. Great frame rate, performance was great, minus the 2 little hitches with the updates. Again, I think that was just an update issue, not actually with the game, because I played it with no issue. And I bought the same motherboard when I flipped it out. I didn't have any issues at that back then. Again, I believe it was an update. Now, let's move forward. The DLC. The DLC is probably the worst thing I've ever played in Doom, which I find strange because I've been seeing some of the reviews and I feel like I've been seeing the opposite where people were like, I don't know about Doom the Dark Ages. And then they play the DLC and you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing. And they keep praising the thing that I hate. So the game, you start off still with the shield and the gun, and you fight this. Now, there's a part in the first game where you get like stabbed. You're still dealing with this going into I don't know what the length of, maybe there wasn't much time length between them, but like You're still bleeding out? Like, what? So there really isn't a big gap here. We're going straight into the next thing. But it didn't seem like it when they're going through. Maybe just because there was a lot of opening dialogue. But like, you get to this baddie who's kind of like a big grotesque monster, but you've fought worse in the initial game, and yet it takes you out no problem. Goes, oh, I got a little cut, So like, you're a wuss and you get beat up by this monster and practically die, but then something finds you or you slip through some portal and something finds you and something kind of crazy. And you lose everything that you gained. Do not like that. The grind starts at the beginning. Don't make me regrind. I almost would understand if it's for like the new weapon. Like, okay, you're gonna have to level this up because those are what made the first, like, recognize what made something so fun about your game. The best part about your game's the damn shield. Let me have the shield is broken. When the DLC starts, past the intro part where you do have the shield, you actually wake up in this cave and you're like, oh no, the shield's broken. Oh well. Good thing I have this staff. And so I will say, you watch the trailers for it. It looks awesome. You're whipping, you're shooting like you're on some sort of like, like you're on some sort of like jet line or something, or what are those things called? Where those, what are they called? Where people go on them for like rappel lines or whatever, right? That you can do, and so you're sliding, like you're hooking in the dude and you're shooting them. The In reality, that feels like shit, and it plays like hell, and you're trying to aim, and maybe it works better on PC. I have no idea. I don't. I really don't do keyboard and mouse. I really enjoy the controller experience. I'm not looking for accuracy. I'm looking to have fun. And I want a beautiful game with great performance, or as best as I can get. And so here's my upfront complaint. So they take all that stuff away, but before you even kind of like, you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I don't have a shield. We'll figure that out. So they give you the staff and the gun. So the staff takes place of the shield now. So one of the things that irritates me right off the bat is they give you a small, like, little training montage to kind of go through to teach you how to use. And you can, again, you can whip it to things and like you can beam across to other areas instead of trying to jump or climb something. And it literally says in like the little tutorial box in the corner, use question mark to utilize chain to get to the other side, or just to sum it up. Question mark. I'm not using a PC. I'm using an Xbox. Why the hell is that not assigned? So I go into I actually think I'm going crazy at first. I to go on YouTube, watch somebody else. I wish I remember who I watched. I apologize. I don't remember the channel. But I found somebody had a really great video going through the DLC, and this person also had it. And a part of their video, their walkthrough, was going into the menu and assigning a key. Absolutely not. You should be assigning a key. What? Why am I assigning a key to repel over? I hope this has been patched, but I couldn't believe that that was a thing. This should be the whole functionality of this stupid staff. I had to assign. Or excuse me, that's not true. It was just because I remember, actually, because I do remember the other parts of it, which were also stupid. So I take that back. That's me lying and being overly excited. But why should I have to assign a core feature of this weapon? That's a tool in the game. Then once you assign it and you whip over, which again, I had no idea how to assign it. I had to watch a video on it, which again, shout out to that creator. That's what I had to do. That's what you're gonna have to do too. I'm sure his will pop up right up at the top for you too. So then, so with the shield, to I'm trying to remember. I think to block was like would have been left trigger or L2. I'm trying to remember what left bumper did. I'm not sure, but you would think it would be you basically used your left triggers in order to kind of control, but it changed it from attacking with B, which by the way, it's a first person shooter. I need both thumbs for my stick. I can't be going back and forth to B, taking my thumb off. It's stupid. In order to whip and reflect things. Then the left trigger was a dash button. There was no blocking anymore. Old Doom games, you could hide behind things in order to block, or you would kind of dance around and utilize the speed in the environment. These levels are open. Dark Ages and the DLC Revelations, excuse me, are open. You're in these almost like arenas, and then you have to take out all the enemies and all the baddies and stuff. And you, there's nowhere to hide. So you're just like I was losing energy. Maybe this goes to show how poor I am of a gamer. I mean, I play games on baby mode all the time, just because I'm just trying to play the game and get on to the next one. I just have a good time. You know I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not trying to sit here all day. I don't have all the time in the world. I got a job to do. We got games to play, and I I was fighting the game. It went from being this smooth interaction with the shield and reflecting and hitting and blocking and to like getting hit, losing all this, having to stop in the fight, having to look for, oh no, I need energy versus being just a baller and always killing people and always having energy and almost never taking shots because I was just so good at blocking and reflecting things to nonstop getting hit, trying to reflect, having to your gun kind of like goes away because you have to boom, your staff in front of you to hit somebody. Now the cool part about it is it does a really good job at knocking the armor off if your opponent has armor. That's a cool thing. That being said, but it takes. I used to be able to do the shoot and do that with the shield, and now I've and kind of multitask, and I lost that functionality. And man, it felt like such a backwards way of doing it. I think if that was introduced in the first game and you worked your way up to like the cream of the crop versus being at the peak. And I guess I saw a video because I admit I didn't. I think I would say maybe I got about halfway through, I think, of the DLC before I couldn't take it anymore. I legitimately couldn't take it anymore. It was so bad. But I did see a video of somebody where it looks like he actually puts on the Doom 2016 armor at like the end of the game, which is pretty cool. But I'll never know. So it's just it. The game does a really poor. The DLC does such a poor job at guiding you to finding things that you need, telling you what to do, making clunky gameplay, horrible. Now you eventually do get the shield back, which does become a better dynamic with the staff. The fact that you have to go through like the first quarter of the game, maybe a little less, of just a staff is painful. The tutorials suck. Sometimes they just don't work. There's times I would be stuck in a tutorial because I'm literally doing what it says and it won't do it. Like it won't do the action that it wants me to do. It is ridiculous how this game works. And it's baffling. It is truly baffling how bad the DLC is. And it makes me worry that like how how do you how do you miss this? Was there I don't know, was there such a changeover in staff? Is this like is that where the effects of like budgeting and stuff came in for Xbox? Like I don't know. But like my god, it really makes me fearful of what's coming. And now that there's a reduce in staff too, like guys. So I can't so this is what makes it hard. So do you judge like so when I talk about Fallout 3, my favorite game of all time, I bring up the DLC. I think the pit is amazing. Pit is a pivotal part of that story. I actually think the actual ending to Fallout 3 kind of sucks. But the fact that you wake up when you add broken steel, like broken steel is a part of that story. If you don't have broken steel, it's stupid. Like not the entire game, but like the ending is kind of stupid just on its own. It just ends, you know? Broken steel, you know, like, "Oh my god, you're alive. Oh, you woke up. Thank God." You know, like it's bringing you back in. And it adds to the story. That is just not the case with this, to where like it just starts regressing and it starts putting you back into like, oh, why would you take these away from me moments? And like I remember being in this level and there's all these like see, I remember literally being locked out of an area because I'm like, I can't and I'm like watching videos and I'm like, I have no idea where I missed this. And unless I'm literally gonna watch hours of this footage where I'm just not about to do. Again, I have shit to do. I have games to play. I mean, we've got tons of stuff coming up. I got Wolverine coming up. We have Plague's Tale, which I'm really excited for next month. Um, I mean, we got the new season of Cyberpunk. We got another season, King of the Hill. Like, there is stuff happening. And look, I probably won't even hit it, you know, everything here. There's just tons of games. We have GTA and not to mention I'm trying to play through all the GTAs. I'm so ungodly limited on. Not to mention, you know, the little editing, that I do for these videos, but also trying to get them and push them out. Like it has been ungodly difficult to find time for anything right now. Now, I'm not complaining. I love that I've been doing this, but like it is crazy to see that think the DLC has like an 89 or something like that, or maybe a little less. Um, but people are getting me eights and nines. I would straight give this like a 4. It's bad. It is bad. It just man, I don't know if I just need to restart or something, but I I hit a point today where I'm done. Like I was playing it. I played it just for a smidge because I had a lot of stuff to do. But I just wanted to jump in to see like, man, maybe because sometimes you get stuck in a game and you just need to put it down and just come back the next day, let your brain kind of sort it out when you're like, oh, it was this, and you kind of jump back into it. No, it's bad. It was genuinely bad, and it's again like I can't even. The fact that you jump in these tutorial, like I'm trying to unlock different like I do want to unlock features for the staff. Maybe it gets cooler, but like it throws you into these awful arena tutorials where they take away your actual health too, which is incredible. Like it's just what a stupid decision. And then if you can't do it or the buttons you're pressing don't work, too bad. You're stuck. There's no way to exit the tutorial either. And that's when I'm like, this is a bonehead stupid decision. Like Doom: The Dark Ages is the best Doom game I've ever played, and Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations, or whatever the hell it's called, sucks. That's plain and simple. I think those are my thoughts on it. If you want to share your thoughts and what you had and your experience, here's the thing. I hope you had a really great experience. I hope ID keeps killing it. I hope your next game keeps killing it. I feel bad that a lot of people got laid off. I'm not going to go into that because that's not only a different topic, but there's a lot that goes into that, and I don't want to just offhand say inappropriate things. Whether you know, because if I'm going to say something, I'm going to actually like get into the topic and actually dig into information and actually like do some research. And there are some deeper things that I do know too, so I have to be careful. And I apologize too because I'm not trying to be overly hard. I like Microsoft and Xbox. I've worked with them before in the past, and they're a lot of really great people over there. So, but this game is not great, and maybe look, I'm willing to admit it might just be me. Probably true. But I just, man, want to give my personal thoughts. But again, play Doom Dark Ages on Game Pass. You can probably get it for a really great price right now. Awesome. Again, greatest Doom ever made, minus the DLC, which drags it down. So maybe overall, it's like a 6 out of 10. If you want to create it as a bundle, if you ditch the DLC, man, you've again best Doom ever made, solid 8 out of 10, maybe even a little bit higher. And you might even like the flying and the mech stuff, but wasn't for me. But again, the main game, literally the best Doom game ever made. So they're right up next to Doom 1993 and then like Doom 2016. So and Doom 3 and I mean all the Dooms are great, um but yep, I just wanted to share my thoughts. It's starting to get really late, so I need to call it a night. Let me know what you guys think. Jump in the comment section if you've lasted this long. I appreciate you listening to me. There's a lot of really great stuff coming here in the future. Again, I'm gonna try and make a bunch of GTA stuff. Hopefully, gonna be releasing it in November if I can get it all done. Really busy. So if not, then I'll be compiling a lot of stuff all like at once, or probably even going past. What I'll probably do is do what I can before GTA 6, play GTA 6, and then go back to all that stuff and just release the rest afterwards. But anybody who chooses to listen, thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking in this long. And let me know your thoughts. And feel free to tell me I'm stupid or a piece of shit in the comments. Now that stuff really affects me. And have yourself a wonderful day. Appreciate your time. Peace.